Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Music Lab podcast. My name is Dogg, and I'm here in Lewes, Delaware, with my friends, the Fitzkee brothers. Guys, welcome.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
So we got to see you guys play last night at Bethany Blues. Talk about the show. How was it? How'd you feel after the show?
It was a good time. Yeah, we got to do a bunch of the songs that we're doing on tour, a few originals, a few covers. It was nice. Yeah.
It's always good to play there because we've always enjoyed that stage. It's a really cool area to play with a lot of history for us.
Yeah. So your first gig was 2018 at Dogfish Head Brewing, correct?
Yes.
And that was
correct.
still then at the original brew pub, or was that at 2.0 then?
I'm not sure. It's
I'm pretty
it's
sure
it's what it is now.
Yeah. Okay.
It's what it is now.
So then, you didn't get to experience the old pub, but
No.
So I used to work at Dogfish, so I have that connection there. So, 5 years ago, go back to that night. Like, what were you feeling? Like, what were the emotions going through? Like, first time playing in front of a crowd, right?
Well, yeah. So we kind of got our start at this place, JD Shuckers, which is the one in Lewes, not the one in Georgetown.
Okay.
They used to have this thing called Kids Got Talent, which was hosted by Dave Jarrell, who's a local sound guy. He really helped get us start there.
Yeah, he's the one that does starboards.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about him a little bit, but our first time playing out, I guess, was there, and we played Seven Nation Army, and that was it. That was it. They asked us to play more, and we didn't know anything else as a group. So
the stage was a corner booth where they moved the table out.
What were you playing on?
I was playing an 18-inch crash ride and a snare.
That's it. Because that's all you were able to fit in there. Yeah.
Yep.
And it was just the two of you then.
It was
two-piece.
us and another guitar player, and I was playing a short scale bass, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yes.
So you still have that bass?
I still have that bass. So that's the first bass that I ever played, was a short scale blue Ibanez with like a PJ configuration. So a P bass pickup in the neck and a jazz bass pickup in the bridge. And the second bass I ever got was a long scale version of that was red, which I traded in at Atomic Music in DC. So I don't know if
shout out.
Anybody has that? Yes,
we
have a lot of gear
gear
from Atomic Music. I love that place. But yeah, that was that. But I guess our first, real gig, you would call it, was that Dogfish gig, which was like something for school. It was like a school booster or something. And we played. I remember I started out because I was in the choir too. So like for part of that, I was wearing a button-up white shirt with a blue tie, and I think by the end of the night, the collared shirt had gone away. I think the tie was around your head.
Yeah, I had a tie around my head,
and it was very interesting because we went directly from the choir to us playing Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones. Yes,
correct. And I remember bringing a drum set way too big for that.
Yeah,
and I made this sound a little too mad.
Yeah.
So then how about then that first year then? Like how many gigs were we playing? Like, how were you just recording music?
So we were doing a lot.
That process? Yeah.
We started out in this group that we had called Hope for Success, which was around for a while. And
ironic name. Huh?
Yes, that did not last. But we were just doing like the punk rock thing. Like that's kind of how Alex and I got started into music. Like
Three chords,
Blink 182, Green Day, Ramones. We were doing a lot of. I think we did like one Stone song and one Chuck Berry song.
Yep.
Every now and then, maybe. But then I like to joke that then we got better at our instruments and chose a better genre. But yeah, we started with punk rock and then worked over to I guess 60s,
the sound that you're in now.
Psychedelic stuff.
Yep.
We played in a band where we did a lot of Led Zeppelin for a while. And then Hendrix, Dead, Allman Brothers, that's what we're doing now. Yeah.
As far as the first few years, though, it was kind of just getting a lay of the area, like kind of picking up as many gigs as you can if they give it to you, because it's still like the emphasis on, oh my God, we're playing the place.
And this is during COVID too, right? I mean, you're dealing with this.
So. We played a lot of like free gigs to neighborhoods and stuff like that. We were just like
we started playing their neighborhoods because all the bars and places were closed. And not like we could get in there anyways. We were like 11.
We were just kind of like, I guess, refining our chops and working and figuring out how to do 3-hour gigs and like what audiences want and how we can cater and how we can also stay with what we want to be doing, but like
true to your
that's sort of finding the fine line,
good balance between like the poppier stuff that the audience wants to hear in your punk rock.
Well, I mean, it kind of
even just mixing in your originals and covers, like how many can you get away originals before you have to do a cover,
the first few years we didn't have anything. We didn't start writing till
so it was just
like
all
a year
covers.
in.
Wow. So you rotate guitarists. Talk about that dynamic, how that is, somewhat different from traditional bands that, if you're going to have a guitarist, that they're part of the band. Talk about how that plays into this dynamic of this band.
So every band that I've ever been in, he's been my drummer, and every band that he's ever been in, I've been his bass player, right?
It was the one constant since we lived together. So we were like at the bare minimum we'll have a trio. So it was just, we were really busy. So we'd like book up all these gigs and they wouldn't be like, sometimes they couldn't make it. So we would have options.
But the real reason was we had like 3 or 4 different groups going at the time with just different people. And it was like, okay, so which band is this? Which band is that? Who does that include? Who's there?
We had a different band name for every
band. But then we were just like, why don't we just brand it as Fitzkee Brothers and just say featuring said guitarist every time? So that way it's a constant in the brand and it's easier that way. I mean, luckily we have Liam, and Liam doesn't have much ego about him whatsoever. So he's like, I'm cool with that.
And we've known people who were like, hey, just to make it easier, because we're in all these bands, we're just going to call it Fitzkee Brothers. And then it's like, why is it your name? Why is it? I'm like, that's what we did in the first place. Come up with all these names. So everyone's
it really doesn't matter to us whatsoever.
It doesn't matter what it's called as long as we're playing.
And as long as obviously that the relationship you have with each one of them is either unique as well as like you get along with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Liam is who played last night, correct?
Yes.
I mean, some really serious chops.
Yes.
And he is how old?
Liam is 20.
He is 20. Okay. So
currently,
he's got you by 2 and he's got you by 4.
Yep.
Okay. So when did he start playing, and like how did he get involved with you guys?
So,
he was the first thing out of Hope for Success.
Well, when I was, I'm going to go way back. So when I was in first grade, my dad had this old Dodge Durango, right? And I remember
shout out Dodge Durango
specifically. It was 2005. 2005 Dodge Durango.
2005.
Yeah. So he got it like the year after I was born. And I remember specifically driving to school and him putting on this CD called Drunk at the Stone Balloon by this band called Love Seed Mama Junk. That's a local legend.
Pete.
Pete. So,
and now his son's playing, I understand, right?
His son is Liam.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's the thing. So Love Seed Mama Jump was one of my first early influences.
Man, I used to see them on
every
the Rusty
Thursday
Rudder,
at the Rudder. Yeah. And we've opened for that a few times, and that's always been a very cool full circle moment for me, because like Pete being one of the first bass players that I like listened to, and now his son's our guitar player. I love it.
The first thing we did out of Hope for Success was this kind of more jam bandier thing with more like, I'd say like maybe Clapton or that sort of kind of rock with both of the brothers. Liam has a younger brother named Connor who played keys.
Okay.
And we basically just combined the names into we called it the Wi-Fi Brothers, because it was W.I. from Weedman and F.I. from Fitzkee. And we started playing with Liam through that, and then eventually it just became Liam was our guitarist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So then, okay. So let's fast forward to now. I mean, tour wise, I mean, you guys are gigging how many times a week? How many times a month? Like, what's the schedule looking like?
It goes up and down. I mean, we have like long stretches and then some periods of
We
break,
did.
but it's pretty busy right now.
We did Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We were off on Sunday. Did Monday. Last night was Tuesday, and then we have a gig tonight.
Yep.
And
yeah,
then
that's a good run.
And then we're doing Friday, Saturday this week.
Okay.
And then
Monday's
a gig that I help host, which is the open mic at arenas every week.
Which you do
with Tyler Green.
And
Tyler Green, a very
BJ,
different,
right?
No,
that's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that one.
So
that's tonight.
Every Monday I help run an open mic with Tyler Green, which is 7 to 10 at arenas downtown.
Okay.
And then I'm back there every Wednesday with Show City, which is me, Alex, BJ from Lowercase Blues, Tim Cooney, and Tim Sun. And that's the thing. That's fun because we just get to jam.
Yeah. So any particular, like, do you do like a theme like each week, or do you just kind of?
Well, it kind of depends.
Or?
Like we've done like when Eden and I graduated, we did Eden is Tim's son. We did a graduation party for us.
We did my 16th
We did Alex's 16th birthday. We did my 18th birthday, Eden's 18th birthday. And tonight's my mom's birthday, so we're gonna do my mom's birthday tonight at Show City. Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yeah,
Mom. That's great. That's cool. So, how have you felt the audiences have changed since you first started playing? Like, or have they kind of stayed the same, or younger, or older? Like,
Well, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because we actually had some people that had seen us in like our original band come, and they were there last night. Like they bought a T-shirt from us Saturday and showed up like the next day wearing the same T-shirt, to come see us.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I did see merch wise, we have just T-shirts then right now, or what all do we have for fans to purchase?
We have shirts, we have stickers, and
this wonderful thing.
Oh yeah,
just in. This is
our poster that we have for our Melody Trucks tour coming up.
Yeah,
it's great. It's we're selling that. We got some sticker versions of it.
Yeah, we so that's the tour that we start on Wednesday. So we're gonna start by we're doing the Rockin' the Docks thing down at the Lewes Ferry Terminal. We're opening up for Mr. George Porter Jr. and his running partners. We're very excited for that.
I liked your meters version last night of the Crosby, Stills, Nash.
Yeah, yep, yeah. I made sure to put a little bit of Sissy Strut in there for good measure. But yeah.
So yeah, that's a good segue. So you have met some pretty famous people already in your young career. Obviously, talk about how this tour came about with Melody.
Okay, so when I turned 16, I went to a camp in Ohio called the Furpiece Ranch, which is run by Yor McCalkin and Jack Cassidy of Hot Tuna and Jefferson Airplane. So I went and I took lessons from them, and that was a very mind-opening experience because I'd never really listened to that much Jefferson Airplane. Mm-hmm. And like I'd listened to Surrealistic Pillow and I kind of got it, but like I was kind of used to a more modern production at that point, so I didn't really entirely get it. Yep. But one of the people there put me on to Bless Its Pointed Little Head, which is their live record at the Fillmore East, and it's just ridiculous. It's
gargantuan.
Yeah. Okay. It's huge. So then after that Furpiece Ranch thing, which at it, there's like part where the campers like play for everybody, right? And I wanted to do something where I sang. So I asked Yorma if he would play All Along the Watchtower with me, and we did that, and that was very fun.
And Jack was at the side judging you.
Yes, he was very intensely.
How hard is that song for a bass player?
It kind of depends on how hard you want to make it. And I feel like that's the case with a lot of songs. Like you can just go through and you can just like pluck roots if you want to. But I've always been more fascinated by bass players that don't take that route. Like influences for me are like John Entwistle and Jack Cassidy, which are actually like two of the first guys to do it, which
is crazy.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily play like him, but Phil Lesh's bass lines blow my mind. Because I don't know how he gets the idea to do that. It's like they give him like the chord change and the tempo and then put him in a different room. And then they're like, here you go. But it fits so well.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
right. So after that, we went to go see Hot Tuna in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah. We saw them at Penn's Peak. I don't know if you've been there. That's a really cool venue.
We saw them. They were great, and their opening band was called the Midnight Ramble Band, and they had Miss Amy Helm playing with them, Levon's daughter. Yeah. And we later realized that evening that not only was it her birthday, but she was staying in our hotel and was having a little birthday party in the lobby when we got back. And so we said hi, and she was like, hey, you want to have some cake with us? And we were like, yeah. So we sat down with Amy Helm, and she told us about this camp where basically you go and you take lessons from all these great musicians, and then you're kind of like free to jam for like an entire week. And we're like, that sounds great. So we'll look into it. And then later, Bruce Katz was down here, who's her keyboard player. We saw him at arenas, and Drew recognized him and was like, you're Bruce Katz, which doesn't often happen to the keyboard player. So he was like, yeah,
yes, I am.
So he sat in with us, which was also awesome. And then he mentioned the camp again. So we're like, okay, we got two people talking about it. Now we have to go. So we went, and it's still the greatest week of my life. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Where is this camp at?
It's way up in the Catskills. It's in Big Indian. So Bruce had previously played with some variety of the Allman Brothers. I think he was with Greg Allman Band or something like that. I've seen him sit in. There's a video online of the OTL Derek Warren lineup where Susan comes out to sing Stand Back, and Bruce is on one side of the stage playing keys and Kofi's on the other, and it's just so good. But so Bruce played somewhere in northern Delaware, and we had a gig at arenas, and he just walked in the door, and I was like, yeah, you're Bruce Katz. And he was like, you need to go to Roots Rock Revival, which is exactly what Amy told us to do. So we went, and
we heard and we saw all the different mentors there. O'Teal was there. It was great. He gave you some lessons, but
it went way over my head.
Too much for your brain to comprehend. We saw Amy again. She kind of led us through the whole thing. And then we saw Melody for the first time, and she was great. The first time we heard her voice was Not My Cross to Bear. She hit the first note. That was the first song they played through.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then we heard later that she does this thing where, of course, her dad started the camp. Butch Truck started the camp, and to try to give back. And she was taking that idea of teaching to like another level by taking some of these younger students from the camp on the road with her to use her name to try and get into places they would never play. So anyway, we heard about this, and we were just like, okay, keep that in mind. So we had this great mindset throughout the whole thing, which is just about learning. We didn't care about anything else. We took it in, we jammed.
Like sponges.
And yep, totally. And then at the end, we were like, she wants to do something with us. Yay, that's great. So she decided that we would be the one she would take on the road with her. And it's been great so far.
Did she ever tell you why she picked you?
Yeah. So I've talked to her quite a bit. Like we've had like car rides to gigs and stuff where I've been lucky enough to
2 hours in that car ride out there.
Yeah, that one.
Yep.
But I've just talked to her, and she's been incredibly like gracious. She's talking about like after every gig, I make it a point to go over and say, thank you so much for playing with us. We appreciate you so much. And she always says, thank you for playing with me. Because she said at one point to me that she wanted to take us on the road because she wanted to be the one that says, hey, I put these guys out on the road, and now look at where they are now. And I'm just blown away by that and extremely grateful.
Yeah, because you have to assume all of the artists and all of the bands that she's either played with or seen or just experienced,
and her family too, all the talent in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with Vaylor, her brother, but
Vaylor is a guitar player.
He's one of the greatest guitar players that I've heard live.
He's insane.
He's absolutely incredible. He does this thing called the Yeti Trio, which is him, Eric Sanders, and I can't remember the keyboard player's name. I say that every time, and I even asked her. I was like, she's gonna be yelling she sees this, she's going to kill me. But the Yeti Trio is one of the craziest.
They're great. Very proggy. Breaks you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Coheed Cambria proggy or like Rush proggy or
kind of like Rush proggy.
I don't even know.
It's hard to explain. They're just like
they're just wild musicians. And I've never heard them in the studio. Everything that I've heard from them is live, and
she showed us these videos of Vaylor playing at like some festival or whatever.
Swanee.
Oh,
and
nice. Down in Florida.
Butch is always front row.
Yeah,
he's sitting there, and then it's just Butch Trucks on the barricade watching his son. It's great. But and it was kind of crazy because she was like, and we were booking this. There was like Melody Trucks and the Fitzkee brothers. You're like, oh, okay, so it's kind of like a dual gig thing. Like she'll play and they'll play. But she came up and she's like, hey, I want to play with you. We're like, great. I'm like, where should we go in? What's the rest of your band? And she's like, no, I'm playing with your band. And we're like, okay.
Yeah. So it's Melody, and then we're the backing band.
Yeah. And how many dates are we doing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait. We
start
28th, 29th,
26,
27, 28, 29, 30, and then the Woodstock dates. So I guess, is that 10 technically?
Okay.
Yeah.
10. That's just the second leg. We already did one leg, which was more locally. But it all leads to Roots, which is funny because that's the way that Roots actually looks. Like that's where we're staying.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So is that possibly going to be some of the biggest crowds you've played in front of then?
Oh yeah, we're doing this show
at
the Collective Encore in Columbia, Maryland, which we're doing on July 28th, 2023, which is exactly 50 years to the day from the Watkins Glen Summer Jam. And we're doing
400,000 people.
Yeah,
right?
we're doing strictly songs that they played at Watkins Glen. And I've never done like a theater date like that before. I mean, we've played the Milton Theater, but like
this is just a local theater.
Yeah.
This is like out of town theater.
Sure.
It's great.
Yeah.
And then our 2 dates up in New York. Bo's Bar looks great.
Oh yeah, we're playing the Bitter End again.
And the Bitter End is always
which
great.
Is
a lot of history.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah.
And Liam will play on those dates then with you?
Yes.
Yes, he will. And we have I love this kid. We have our keyboard player with us. His name is Noah Gibney.
Gibney.
Where would you say he's from? Around
Reading. I know Noah Gibney.
You know Noah?
You know Noah Gibney?
I follow him on Instagram because we saw him down in Annapolis because our clothing company, we do events down there.
Yeah.
And gosh,
he's going to be on every date. He will be incredible.
He's our boy. Yeah, I told you about the keyboard player that took us through Shakedown. That was Noah Gibney.
Oh my!
Yeah,
so it'll be Noah, Liam, me, Drew, Melody.
I want to get Noah on this podcast. So that's so funny. All right, cool.
Yeah, and I want to mention again another huge mentor to us is Mr. Paul Cullen from the Room at Cedar Grove, who is
a local legend too.
Yeah,
right?
been so supportive of us. Actually, the first tour date that we did with Melody was at his room.
Okay.
And he's sponsoring Noah to come with us to this camp in the Catskills through his Paul Cares.
So
Foundation.
Noah's never
this
been
will be Noah's first time there.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was our first time last year. But
well, actually, he's going to enjoy it a lot because they just added a new keyboard player to the roster. JoJo from Widespread's going to be there, which is So if I can remember correctly, the lineup. The entirety of Trouble No More is going to be there. I don't think Jack's going to be there, though, because he's still on tour with Marcus.
Oh, yeah.
So, Nikki Glaspie, drummer. Taz Niederauer. Dylan Niederauer's brother.
Roosevelt
Collier. Daniel Donato is going to be there.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of
Any
ours.
Kingfish?
No.
Okay.
Kingfish isn't on that.
No,
Pete,
we saw him at Peach.
Oh
though.
my God, he
great.
is insane.
Oh, we met him in Meridian, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We played a festival that he played.
Well, we're good friends with his keyboard player, D Vibes.
Oh yeah,
I love D Vibes.
but yeah, we played the same festival as him in Mississippi.
Yeah.
I saw him at Jazz Fest, and it was like a 1 o'clock show because this was like 5-6 years ago.
He played early at Peach.
Oh my God, he was. I was like, oh my God, who is this?
Yeah.
So
So
good stuff. Okay.
And then Peter Levin, who's the keyboard player for Trouble No More, also formerly of Greg Allman Band.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude's
Everybody.
insane.
Right.
The North Mississippi All Stars are going to be there again.
Yeah.
Cody and Luther.
Yeah. Luther Dickinson, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
One of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten was when we were jamming at Roots. I was jamming with Luther. And I was about to get off the jam, and he says, "Hey, can we have John Entwistle stick around for this next song?" And I was like,
The greatest thing about Roots is there's like this little
pocket of
and they're like the mentors are like spread out, so they'll be like, Luther's in the basement.
So then you
sprint
run
over
across
to go jam with them. Oteil's doing private lessons here.
well, there's so
there.
many other classes. Like they did a full class on Colonel Bruce. It was fantastic.
Mhm.
They do deep dives.
I have
into discographies
notes
of Dead
upon
and-
notes upon notes upon notes from Roots last year, and I'll have plenty from this year too.
One of my favorite moments was we did an acoustic thing. I sat with a djembe and we played acoustically. And we sat there was a pool, and we sat by the poolside, and we were playing acoustically with Amy Helm playing her mandolin.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And we played some songs. She was trying to learn Uncle John's band.
Oh yeah.
But we played through, and we played a couple of songs, and then you came up with a great idea of having me sing a band song in front of Amy Helm acoustically, which was nerve-wracking as crap.
You played.
Yeah,
we did up on Cripple
we did
Creek.
Cripple Creek
Nice.
right by the
Nice.
pool. My favorite part is she's like, all right, that was great, and then I gotta go, and then she starts to walk away, and you start playing Atlantic City, the band's version.
Oh yeah.
And we start, and she goes, crap, and she turns around and then just starts videoing, and
Yeah, that was great.
was also freaking out.
Yeah.
And I sang The Wait in front of her at the Roadhouse, which is also because I came out behind the kit, which I normally don't do.
I was going to say, is that's abnormal for you or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the same for me if I'm singing without a bass. I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Don't know what
But
to
yeah,
do. Don't know
they're
what
just
to do
like,
with my hands.
and they're all ready to play with you too.
Yeah.
It's just nice to hear that these, I'm going to call them music elders of the business, are so willing to, share and pass on their.
That's the whole point of the camp. That's why Butch started it.
Yeah.
Melody said, I'm not sure. I think it was Melody, but somebody said, and I was just blown away by this. They said, kids like us, like we are what Butch was looking for when he started the camp. I was just like blown away by that.
So anyone else that you were there with last year, like contemporary, like, other band guys like you that kind of impressed you as well?
Oh yeah.
That
There's
should
this
be
kid,
on our radar.
There's this kid, Jaden Lehman from Florida, that lives in California by way of Florida, that has done some.
He toured with Melody that year,
but he also did a few gigs with Oteil and friends at the Funky Biscuit.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
he shreds. He's
Yeah.
great.
How old is he?
I think he's a little bit older than me.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Lee Collins, Amy's son, is doing this Roshan Collins thing in New York, which is really cool.
He's a really great drummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, where has what has been your favorite venue to play?
I think we got it.
Yeah,
It's
probably
so far it's Fast Eddie.
I was gonna say Paul's by far.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there's no
reasons,
Okay,
boys.
okay. I can get that.
No,
I can get that.
like as far as like bars go and stuff like that.
I'll say
Fast
that.
Eddie's,
As far as
but
like bars and stuff, but like if
Paul,
you're talking
Paul's
about
is
shows,
Paul's is like a venue, like
Okay.
a legit venue. Like Daniel's played there. Dwayne Betts is playing there on Saturday,
Mhm.
who's also going to be at Roots.
Yeah, I don't treat like whenever we play Paul's, it's not like a. It's like a different.
It's not
gig.
like a gig.
It's like if I were to go in to play like a bar like Fast Eddie's, that's great and all, but I have a mindset, and when I play Paul's, it's different because it's like I don't know, like this is more than.
Well, Paul's is
venue.
just like as far as like huge shows go, I would say Fast Eddie's, but like Paul's is just so I don't know how to put it. It's just such an intimate space.
Yes, it's pretty small, and like people there are like there to listen to you. They're not there to go have a drink with their friends and watch a sports game and you're playing. Yeah. They're there to listen to you.
Yeah.
It drives me like insane.
Yeah, that's Paul's
concerts
biggest thing.
when people like talk. Oh my god.
Paul's is all about like it's like strictly about the music, and Fast Eddie's is just like a party. Which I mean, there's ups and downs.
But yeah, Paul's given us so much, and it's kind of our home now, basically.
He's our Uncle Paulie now.
Yeah.
He's done so much for us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, last question, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Bands that are current now. Give me your both top three, like that are on your radar right now. Other than Daniel
Donato's Cosmic Country, man.
That's number one.
Daniel Donato's.
Yeah.
Marcus is doing pretty well.
Marcus King.
I love Marcus.
So I got to meet Marcus's current bass player.
Steven?
Henry?
I'm not sure.
This is a ring.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Henry.
He is the bassist for the Minx. He's from Nashville. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that's what he said. He's playing for on this tour. Maybe
he might.
I don't know. I've only seen him with Steven. Steven's the dude with the long curly hair and
Okay, maybe Steve's on break or something, or maybe
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
Marcus King number two.
I'd say Cosmic Country for sure, and I have no idea. I love Cosmic Country so much.
TTB. Tedeschi Trucks.
Tedeschi Trucks?
Yeah. They're my number one.
Tedeschi
Trucks. Well, they're still going.
Yeah, of course.
For sure.
Tedeschi Trucks.
I love
Marcus
their new
and
record.
Daniel. Yeah.
I Am the Moon is just so good.
Probably three of the best guitarists I know of. Daniel, Marcus, and Derek.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah, definitely. And you could throw in a couple more, but yeah.
I don't listen to that much new music because there's so much that I have to go through and dig up.
It's like Drew stops at 1970.
Dwayne Betts' new record is great.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wild and Precious Life.
Melody's record. You're welcome.
Melodies. Well, yeah, that was
The record is very good.
Yeah.
So, any new music that fans should be expecting? Anything recorded? Anything? What do we have in the horizon?
We have our debut single getting ready to be released. I think it's around September-ish.
Okay.
But it's
and where are you recording, or where will you record anything that you do?
We recorded it. I can't remember the name of the studio, but we recorded it in DC.
Okay.
With this producer Jim Ebert, who has just blown us away.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Very down to the point. He's a great dude. But so we recorded that single. I enjoy it. I think it's very nice. And, it'll be out.
If it'll ever make its way to our set list, because we always end up putting it in the last set because it's high energy.
We put it in the last set and we're like, all right, it's high energy.
Well, yeah, kind of describe it. Yeah, what is...
So it's like, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I guess it's us. Like that's what we're going to sound like.
How did Jim described us as what?
Foo Fighters meets Allman Brothers. That's what he said. Yeah. So I guess like a blues tinged It's rock. That's what it is.
I guess the biggest thing or the biggest interest that we had is that we were not raised on jam band music, but we love it. We were raised with punk rock music that seeps its way into. So one thing I've seen is we love jam bands and we love all the instrumentation being musicians. But one thing we find is Jerry takes about like 2 steps each show. He doesn't move quite a lot, or they're just kind of up there. But our draw is we move a lot. So
we do move a lot.
Jam band with a lot of energy is, I guess, what.
I like the high stepping too. That's a
Were you
Oteil stomping?
Yeah, I was Oteil stomping.
He was stomping.
I was doing the dinosaur song.
That's great.
Well, guys, this has been great. I hope this has been as enjoyable as it has for me, as it's been for you. We'll hopefully check you on the road to Roots. That tour starts the 26th.
Yes.
In Lewes.
26th in Lewes.
Yeah.
27th at Parked in Maryland. Parked in.
Okay. You're basically throughout the Mid-Atlantic
Columbia.
and then finish off in New York.
Yeah.
Finish off in New York.
Yeah.
First show in Long Island.
Long Island. Then you'll get to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
It's great in the summer, apparently.
Yeah.
Everybody wears white.
I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening. Check out the Fitzkee Brothers, FitzkeeBrothersMusic.com, right? Isn't that the website?
Yeah, for the website.
Yeah.
Fitzkee Brothers, Fitzkee Music.
Is it FitzkeeBrothers.com?
I think it's Fitzkee Brothers Music, right?
It might be Fitzkee Brothers.
We're the only one with the last name, so if you search it up,
FitzkeeBrothersMusic.com.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Professional.
That research team, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for watching and listening. This is the Fitzkee Brothers. I've been Dogg. You've been great. This is the Music Lab Podcast.